All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about how AI is poised to completely change one of the most basic parts of any business, how we train our people. We're going to break down how you can actually build a digital instructor that literally never sleeps.
And when we say thousands, that's putting it lightly. Globally, we're talking about over $350 billion spent on corporate training every single year. For big companies, that's millions, sometimes even billions, all poured into developing their people. It's a huge investment.
But here's the kicker, right? So much of that money goes into training that's just, well, stale. You know the deal. The same onboarding presentation delivered for the 100th time, different trainers giving slightly different messages, and the absolute headache of trying to get a global team on the same page.
But what if you could change all that? Just imagine for a second a world where every single employee, from the new hire to the senior exec, has their own personal expert instructor available anytime, anywhere. That's the powerful idea we're digging into today.
Okay, so to really get why the solution is so cool, we first need to understand the problem. So let's dive into what I call the corporate training trap and see exactly why the old ways just aren't cutting it anymore. And what's really interesting here is how all these problems just feed into each other. It's like a domino effect. A human trainer has to keep repeating the same basic stuff, which means they have way less time for the valuable one-on-one coaching. That drives up the cost of every session. And let's be honest, in a room with 30 people, there's no way to personalize anything, so you have no idea who's actually getting it and who's just nodding off.
So if that's the trap, here's the escape route. Let me introduce you to the hero of our story, the AI instructor. And look, this isn't just a minor upgrade. We're talking about a completely different way to think about how people learn and grow at work.
So what are we actually talking about here? It's really important to get this. This is not just a chatbot. An AI training system is a whole structured platform. It's got the AI instructor to teach you, a Q&A assistant for your questions, a tool that can whip up quizzes and tests, and a way to track how everyone's doing. And it's all hooked into your company's specific knowledge.
All right, so how does this thing actually work under the hood? It might sound like something out of a sci-fi movie, but the way it's built is actually pretty logical. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the core pieces.
The easiest way to think about it is like you're building a house. First, you need the brains of the operation. That's the AI model, the large language model. Then, it needs a library to learn from. That's your training content database. The instruction framework is like the lesson plan. The assessment engine is the part that gives out the tests. And the analytics dashboard, that's the report card, showing you exactly what's working and what isn't. And this right here is the secret sauce. This is what makes the AI so incredibly smart and useful. It's a technique called RAG. To put it simply, it's like giving the AI a library card to your company's private internal documents. So when an employee asks about a specific company policy, the AI isn't just guessing, it's pulling the answers straight from your official HR handbook.
Okay, enough with the theory. This isn't just a concept. Companies are using this stuff right now. So let's look at some of the most powerful ways this AI instructor is being put to work in the real world today.
The possibilities are pretty amazing. Onboarding can be instant and perfectly consistent for every single new person. That boring compliance training can finally become interactive. But my favorite example? Simulating customer service calls. Imagine a new team member practicing with an AI that's playing the role of an angry customer. They can fail, try again, and build real confidence before they ever have to talk to a real person. That's a game changer.
And when you put it side by side like this, the difference is just night and day. You go from the old way, one trainer, a big group, a fixed schedule, to a system that gives every single person their own personal tutor, on demand, 24/7. Learning stops being a one-way lecture and becomes a two-way conversation that can scale to a team of 10,000 just as easily as a team of 10.
So all this sounds fantastic for employees, but what does it mean for the business? Let's connect the dots and talk about what the people in charge really care about. The bottom line, the return on investment. And the benefits are really clear and direct. You're immediately cutting costs on things like travel and repeated sessions. You're freeing up your best trainers to focus on high-level strategy instead of the basics. You guarantee everybody gets the same high-quality info. People get productive faster, and this is huge. For the first time, you get actual hard data on what your team really knows. This brings up a really crucial point. We have to reframe how we think about this. This is not about replacing human trainers, it's about multiplying their impact. The AI handles all the repetitive grunt work, which frees up your learning and development team to be the strategic coaches and mentors they were meant to be.
All right, so let's say I've got your attention. You're thinking, okay, this sounds pretty interesting for my company. Where do you even start? Let's walk through a simple, practical playbook to get you going.
The good news is you don't have to do everything at once. You can start small and build from there. Level 1 is the easiest way in. Just give your team an AI assistant that can answer questions from your existing documents. Then you can graduate to Level 2, where the AI helps you build out actual courses. And the final goal is Level 3, the whole shebang. A fully integrated system with avatars, deep analytics, all of it.
But as you get started, a quick word of warning. Be aware of the common pitfalls. Remember, AI is a powerful tool, but it's not a magic wand. If you feed it garbage content, you're going to get garbage training out. Garbage in, garbage out. You still need a smart plan, you still need human oversight, and you absolutely have to track the data to see what's working.
Look, at the end of the day, this is where things are headed. It's not really a question of if companies are going to adopt this, it's a question of when. So the real question every leader should be asking themselves is, do you want to be ahead of the curve, or are you going to be playing catch-up in a few years?
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Think about your own organization right now. What's that one piece of training that's repetitive, time-consuming, and just a pain for everyone involved? Is it getting new hires up to speed? Is it practicing sales scripts? Or is it that annual compliance course we all know and love? What's your first move going to be?